In today's video, we look at some of the front runners for each major award for the 2021 Major League Baseball season so far, about 1/3 of the way through the season. Before I get into this video though, 88% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed, so get your life together. Hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, and leave a like on the video. Yeah, 88% of you that watch these videos in the month of May are not subscribed, so like I said, get your life together. Hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, and leave a like on this video. Now let's go ahead and get into this video. First, we're going to start off with the Manager of the Year favorites. The Tampa Bay Rays are one of the best, if not the best run organizations in all of Major League Baseball. And Kevin Cash is a huge reason for that. He has done great things with his team. He gets the most out of his players each and every day, especially their pitchers. Andrew Kitrich has been a great example of this and has been great for this team so far this year with a 5-0 record with a 1.11 ERA and a 0.86 WHIP. Another player like Jeffrey Springs, who had not been good in years past, has been good this year out of the bullpen. He in 22 games is 4-1 with a 3.22 ERA and a 1.01 WHIP. Kevin Cash has led this team so far to the best record in baseball with a 35-20 record, leading the American League East. Obviously, Kevin Cash is probably the best manager in all of baseball currently. And yeah, our next and final AL Manager of the Year favorite has to be Alex Cora. He has changed this whole team around, the Boston Red Sox. They had one of the worst records in all of baseball just one season ago, and Alex Cora has changed this team. I know a lot of people do not like Alex Cora due to the Astros cheating scandal back in 2017 and the possible Red Sox cheating scandal in 2018. But still, he has completely changed this Red Sox team. The Red Sox are currently 32-21. 2 games back of the AL East right now, but are in full control of the wild card as of right now. I still think Cash should win this award over Cora right now, but it cannot be underestimated what Cora has done for the Red Sox this year. I mean, the Red Sox have been very, very good, and he just gets more out of the pitchers and more out of the hitters than Ron Renicky ever did for this Boston Red Sox team. And now we've got to look to next. Let's go ahead and talk about the NL Manager of the Year favorite. We're only going to go through one manager because I really think that this is kind of his award to lose as of right now, and 1/3 of the way through the season, I would definitely give him this award, and that's Gabe Kepler of the San Francisco Giants. Gabe Kepler has to be the favorite right now to win NL Manager of the Year. The Giants have been so surprising this season, a team before the season that was projected to be a third-place team, and they are in first place right now with a 34-20 record. The first thing that has led them to success is their pitching. Kevin Gausman is the Cy Young top 3 in this video. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. That's a hint. Alex Wood, who they picked up for the cheap last offseason, has been very good. He has a 5-2 record with a 2.44 ERA and is 1.04 WHIP in 8 starts. Mikey Stripski, who has been their best projected hitter coming into the season, has been disappointing this season. He has 6 home runs, 15 runs batted in, and a 2.17 batting average. He has been disappointing this year, but they've still been getting good production out of Buster Posey, Evan Longoria. Some of the old players that I did say were washed coming into the season have performed for them. Johnny Cueto was pretty good before. I'm pretty sure he hit the injured list. And the Giants have been a very, very good team, and no one would have predicted them to be in first place. Their pitching's been very, very good, and they're getting great performances from their hitters as well. Now let's go ahead and go into some more awards. Let's go ahead and start with Rookie of the Year in the American League. And we're going to start off back in Tampa Bay with Ranvier Rosarina. Ranvier Rosarina had a great postseason last year. We all know about the postseason that he had last year. It was one of the best postseasons, if not the best postseason ever. Ranvier Rosarina on the year is hitting .265 with 7 home runs, 27 RBIs, 8 stolen bases, 36 runs, scored 52 hits, and 196 at-bats. He has a .356 on base percentage, a .418 slugging percentage, and a .774 OPS, and an OPS plus of 127. Ranvier Rosarina has been very, very good this year, I would still say. Even though there was a ton of hype for him coming into the season, I think he's lived up to that hype pretty well for Ranvier Rosarina. Ranvier Rosarina has been good, and he has been a big part of the Rays lineup, which has been pretty solid in this big winning streak that they've went on. Next, at number 2, one of the biggest surprises of this year has to be Yerman Mercedes of the Chicago White Sox. Yerman Mercedes was a rookie this year and has been very, very good. Way better than expected. Now, for the White Sox this year, he is hitting .311 with 7 home runs and 30 RBIs and 19 runs scored, 55 hits, 177 at-bats, and a 1.0 WAR. .366 on base percentage, .480 slugging percentage, .846 OPS, and a .138 OPS plus. He has been very, very good for this White Sox team. He's a designated hitter, which he still can play designated hitter. Maybe as Jose Abreu gets older, he may be at that position. But still, he's the DH right now, and he has been very, very good. But he still is second in the AL Rookie of the Year. As good as he's been, he still is second. Now going on to number one. This guy was a player that nobody really wanted. Nobody really cared about getting Adolis Garcia, who is the front runner for AL Rookie of the Year. Has to be right now. He might even be the favorite for MVP right now. He has 16 home runs, 41 RBIs, and a .286 batting average, 27 runs scored, 6 stolen bases, 50 hits, 175 at-bats, 2.8 WAR, .323 on base percentage, .589 slugging percentage, OPS of 911, and a .149 OPS plus. Now, back in 2020, he was about useless. In just about 3 games, he was useless. He didn't get a hit at all. And in 2018 for St. Louis, he didn't do much either in 21 games. Only 0 home runs, 1 RBI, and a .118 batting average. He did basically nothing then. And he has really performed very, very well. And if he keeps on this pace, he might win Rookie of the Year and MVP this year. NL Rookie of the Year is a little more confusing here because NL Rookie of the Year, they're definitely not the players that there are in the AL. You've got players like Yerman Mercedes. You've got Adolis Garcia. You've got very, very good players in the AL, but you can't really say totally the same with the NL. But coming in third place right now, I think in the NL, I don't really think these matter too much here. They're in really no specific order for the NL especially. But for 2021, Dylan Carlson, who was a highly touted prospect, 5 home runs, 24 RBIs, and a .269 batting average, 29 runs scored, .357 on base percentage, .418 slugging percentage, and a .774 OPS, and a .121 OPS plus, and 128 at-bats, 49 hits. He's been pretty solid this year for this Cardinals team. Now, he was not very good last year. In 2020, he was 3 home runs, 16 RBIs, and a .200 batting average. He was not very good, but still, Dylan Carlson, I think, could easily win this award, especially just being a little bit better. He's still good. He's still been very good this year, though. Number 2 is William Contreras. Now, William Contreras is a player that coming into the season you probably wouldn't have expected to be on this list, and that's simply because Travis d'Arnaud would have been the catcher coming into the season, but he, I think, is out for the year, if I'm not mistaken. I know he's on the 60-day IL. But he's been okay for this team, .239 batting average, 5 home runs, 17 RBIs, and a .333 on base percentage, .507 slugging percentage, .841 OPS, and a .121 OPS plus. Like I said, William Contreras, I think he could be like an honorable mention on this list. But I think the top 2 right now have to be on the Miami Marlins, and Jazz Chisholm has to be one. Yes, he was on the IL, but still Jazz Chisholm has had a very, very solid rookie season for Jazz Chisholm. Looking here, he was traded in, I can't remember what trade, but yeah. .286 batting average this year, 5 home runs, 11 RBIs, 9 stolen bases, 15 runs, 30 hits, 105 at-bats, and a 1.1 WAR, .350 on base percentage, .486 slugging percentage, and an .836 OPS, and a .132 OPS plus. He has been very, very good for this team this year. But I think his teammate is probably the favorite to get this award right now. And even though he is a pitcher, I thought that it was going to possibly be even a Marlins pitcher coming into the season. But it's a different Marlins pitcher, and it's got to be Trevor Rogers. Trevor Rogers has been very, very good this year for the Miami Marlins. He's a rookie this year, obviously, and he has been very, very, very good. He's 6-3 with a 1.87 ERA. And he could even be in conversation for the Cy Young right now. 6-3, like I said, with a 1.87 ERA, 1.10 WHIP, 76 strikeouts in 62.2 innings and 11 games. He's been very, very good, and I think he has to be the favorite for Rookie of the Year. Let's go ahead and move on to the Cy Young right now. AL Cy Young, number 3. I think all these players are actually in the AL East, so that's not really much of a hint. John Means of the Baltimore Orioles, he has definitely improved a lot. Even though there are some rumors of him using a foreign substance, he has still been very, very good. He's a one-time All-Star. That was back in 2019, but still, the Orioles were terrible that year, and they're still terrible to this day. But 4-1 with a 2.05 ERA this year in 11 games, 70.1 innings pitched, and 68 strikeouts, and an 0.79 WHIP. John Means has been very, very good for this Orioles team this year. And even though I don't think that it will get the Cy Young, I think that he definitely should be a mention that comes up there. And that simply is just because of his team. He's on a terrible team, and it doesn't matter. If he's on a terrible team, he's not going to win the award. And it sucks for John Means, who has improved a lot, but still, that's the reality of it. Next up is Tyler Glasnow of the Tampa Bay Rays, the second Tampa Bay Ray on this list. He has been very, very good this year, 4-2 with a 2.57 ERA in 11 games, 70 innings pitched, 98 strikeouts, and an 0.92 WHIP. He has been very, very good this year. Back in 2020, 5-1 with a 4.08 ERA, and he has definitely improved a lot for this Tampa Bay Rays team, and it's a big part of why they are so good right now. The favorite, though, has to be Mr. Foreign Substance himself, Gerrit Cole. Gerrit Cole has not won a Cy Young yet, which is awfully surprising for the numbers that he's put up throughout his career. He has been very, very good throughout his career and might be even better this year. 6-2 with a 1.78 ERA in 11 games, 70.2 innings pitched, and 97 strikeouts, and an 0.83 WHIP. He has been very, very good this season. Back in 2020, 7-3 with a 2.84 ERA. I think that he's probably the favorite to win AL Cy Young right now. He's a three-time All-Star. I think it's about time that he does win a Cy Young, even though his Yankees team is honestly not that great this year. For the NL Cy Young, a lot of players could be included, but I can't include everybody. So, yeah, I just went with three names that I think are probably the favorites for the NL Cy Young right now. At number 3, like I said before, Kevin Gausman of the San Francisco Giants. The Giants, like I said, their pitching has really led them to this success early on, and Kevin Gausman is a big part of that. Kevin Gausman has finally really started to get it together in San Francisco. He's been very, very good in San Francisco. This year, 6-0 with a 1.40 ERA in 11 starts, 70.2 innings pitched, 83 strikeouts, and a 0.80 WHIP. He has been very, very good. Back in 2020, 3-3 with a 3.62 ERA. He actually accepted the qualifying offer this year and definitely, I think, is in for a big, big payday next offseason. At number 2, Brandon Woodruff of the Milwaukee Brewers. These are in no specific order once again. I'm just telling you the 3 favorites here, and you can kind of put it. You can just kind of, I guess, vote for the player that you think is best right now. But he is 4-2 with a 1.27 ERA this year in 11 games. 11 games started, 71 innings pitched this year, and 83 strikeouts and a 0.69 WHIP. He's been very, very good this year, and back in 2020, he was solid. 3-5 with 3.05 ERA. He wasn't great, but he has definitely improved a lot this year. And at our next player on this list, Jacob Degrom. This is pretty obvious. He has been out for he was out for some time, but he still might even be the favorite for Cy Young. I would like to see somebody win it besides Jacob Degrom again because, Jacob Degrom's just such the boring pick, though. He's 4-2 with a 0.71 ERA this year. He is so good. 51 innings pitched, 82 strikeouts, and a 0.56 WHIP. There's arguments to be made that he could even be the best player in baseball right now. He has been good for the last, 5 years. He's been very, very good. There's not much to say about Jacob Degrom. He could still be the front runner this year. 0.71 ERA. That is crazy video game numbers. And moving on to the MVPs here. Like I said, I cannot include everybody. So, yeah. First player that has to be mentioned on this list for the front runners for the awards, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. This is another player that has improved a ton since we saw him last season. He is very, very good this season, especially being the best player in that lineup with George Springer out. And he's their best player overall this year, by far. And there can't be much argument said to that. He's got a .323 batting average, 16 home runs, 42 RBIs, 40 runs scored, and 1 stolen base, 186 at-bats, 60 hits, and 430 on base percentage, 634 slugging percentage, and over a 1,000 OPS this year. He has been so good, and I think he's probably the favorite for AL MVP. Next player we've got to go to is Shohei Ohtani, who has been so good this year. He has improved more from where he was still great in 2020, 2019. He was still very good in those years, but he has improved even more. And that is scary about Shohei Ohtani. He can pitch, he can hit very well. That is crazy. 2021, 15 home runs, 40 RBIs, and a 263 batting average, 330 on base percentage, 597 slugging percentage, and a 927 OPS. 35 runs scored, 49 hits, and 186 at-bats. So for the pitching, 2021, 1-1 with a 2.72 ERA. He's still pitching 7 games. I think that's what may make the difference. He's not just hitting; he is pitching too. It's crazy that 2 of our MVP candidates here are DHs, but still, I don't think that really. I think that may be the differencing factor between Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Shohei Ohtani, especially if they have very similar stats. Next player, we've already talked about him, but I'm going to go with Adolis Garcia. Adolis Garcia, like I said, has been very, very good. Adolis Garcia definitely has to be a candidate here. And the last one is Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge has been in a pretty horrible Yankees lineup this year. But he has been good, to say the least. 300 batting average, 13 home runs, 29 RBIs, 27 runs scored, 395 on base percentage, 556 slugging percentage, 951 OPS, and a 168 OPS plus. In 58 hits, or 54 hits, and 180 at-bats and a 2.0 WAR. Now, those are the AL MVP candidates, or frontrunners. Now let's go ahead and talk about the NL MVP, which there's a lot more players that can be discussed for the NL MVPs here, and let's go ahead and go through them. Ronald Acuna has to be maybe even the favorite. In a struggling Braves lineup that really hasn't been particularly great, obviously Austin Riley had a great month of May, but Freddie Freeman has definitely not been the same NL MVP self that he was in 2020. But for Ronald Acuna, 16 home runs, 33 RBIs, and 283 batting average, 39 runs scored, 6 stolen bases, 380 on base percentage, 618 slugging percentage, and a 999 OPS. 49 hits and 173 at-bats. Ronald Acuna has been very, very good this season, and I think could be the front runner for NL MVP. Next 2 players are teammates, actually. And that's going to be Jesse Winker, first of the Cincinnati Reds. Jesse Winker has been very, very good this year. And Jesse Winker is one of those players that I think is the best hitter in baseball, and I think is very, very underrated. Very, very underrated. And just too underrated, actually. He has to be one of the building blocks of the Cincinnati Reds' future. With 13 home runs this year and a 348 batting average, 29 RBIs, 37 runs, 62 hits, and 178 at-bats, a 411 on base percentage, 635 slugging percentage, over 1,000 OPS. Jesse Winker is so underrated, and I'm a big fan of Jesse Winker. Next is a teammate, like I said, of his, and that's going to be Nick Castellanos. Nick Castellanos, I think, did get suspended for a couple games, but that doesn't really matter here. 356 batting average this year, 12 home runs, 31 RBIs, and 36 runs, 413 on base percentage, 638 slugging percentage, and over 1,000 OPS and an OPS plus of 173, 2.7 WAR, 188 at bats, and 67 of those are hits. Nick Castellanos, we knew about the potential with Nick Castellanos. He had a ton of potential. He was in Detroit at a not hitter-friendly ballpark, and he finally was signed by the Reds for a pretty sizable contract, and he has finally really turned into a arguable superstar in Cincinnati. Next, we head out to San Diego for Fernando Tatis Jr. Tatis Jr. was my MVP pick this year. I thought that he definitely could have won MVP. He was out with COVID this year, but COVID has honestly just made him stronger, it seems like. 299 batting average, 16 home runs, 37 RBIs, 12 stolen bases, 38 runs, 41 hits, 137 at-bats, 2.54, 383 on base percentage, 708 slugging percentage, over 1,000 OPS, obviously, and an OPS plus of 206. Fernando Tatis Jr. has been so good this year. Is he the favorite? I don't know, since he was out a couple weeks with COVID, but still, Fernando Tatis Jr. has been great this year. One player that has definitely had a bounce back season, it might even be comeback player of the year this year, Kris Bryant. Kris Bryant has a 324 batting average, 12 home runs and 36 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, and 36 runs and 60 hits out of 185 at bats. Kris Bryant is definitely his old self. There is no debating that. 406 on base percentage, 611 slugging percentage, and over 1,000 OPS. And an OPS plus of 183 this year. He has been so good. A 3-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year, MVP. He is in for a huge payday in next offseason. Like I said, he is in for a huge payday. And some team might even be looking for him at the deadline, even though the Cubs are in first place right now with a 30-23 record, and they have been playing a lot better at baseball recently. But yeah, those are the front runners for the top 2021 Major League Baseball awards. Like I said in the beginning of the video, 88% of you in the month of May were not subscribed, so get your life together. Hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, and leave a like on this video. Subscribe, turn notifications, and leave a like. Thank you for watching, and peace.